Hello everyone, it's Yuna. Welcome back to another video on P5X. I wanted to talk today about if you should reroll. I have some pretty strong feelings about this, but also it is ultimately up to you, the player, to dictate your experience in the game. If you feel very strongly one way or the other, or you don't really care one way or the other, that's totally okay. Uh, I have my own thoughts, so let's get into it. When you start the game, you get access to a special version of this banner right here. And this banner you get 50 pulls on the banner, but you can only do 10 pulls. It only costs 8 of these gold tickets instead of 10. Once you do all 50, you get to pick one 5-star from Ryuji, Morgana, and On. Restarting the game doesn't take very long in Persona 5X. You get to skip every cutscene. You can auto most of the fights. I think it takes about 10 to 15 minutes to reroll. Especially after they gave us the #1 top grossing. I don't know if it was top grossing or #1 charts. I'm not sure. I'm gonna call it top grossing. They gave us top grossing, and for that gave us 1,500 metajoules. So basically, you log in, you play for about 10-15 minutes. You have a multi or two on this banner, and you have a multi or two on this banner. Now, is it worth to reroll? Let's talk about that. What does your time mean to you? If you are a min-maxer and you are trying to specifically, you want Joker and you want as few pulls as possible into his banner, rerolling might be for you. But it's important to remember too that you only have 100 rerolls per device you have 100 rerolls per device in Persona 5X. So unless you're using like emulators, you really only get like 100 tries. So 100 tries is a lot, right? But the rates in gacha games, especially games with these kinds of systems, they're pretty low. For the chance for you to just like pull Joker is 0.4. So you get like 1 or 2 multis on this banner, and you get 10 chances at this 0.4%, and then you just start over. I've rerolled in games for 0.5s. I've rerolled in games for 0.25%. The worst game I've ever rerolled in ever was 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross. That game is a nightmare to reroll in. At least it was when the ReZero collab came out when I was trying to play. It left a really sour taste in my mouth about rerolling. It makes me feel like, I would rather just be playing the game. Unless it's like, my favorite character in the whole game is like the first character. It's so like, again, if Joker is your favorite character in the whole game, like, and you really want to summon for Joker and you want to be free to play and you want to be optimal with your time, reroll, do your thing. But in my opinion, Joker isn't even that good. Or at least he like won't be. I don't think he's a good value summon. I talked about that in my video from a couple days ago. You can check out that one. I don't think his kit is very cohesive. I don't think he's very fun to play with. But that's just from my experience in the trial battle and seeing gameplay of Joker. Now we have to talk about the reroll section on this banner. You cannot get Yao Ling or Haruna from the selector on the special beginner banner. You can pull them from the banner, right? And it's a 0.8% chance of pulling a raw 5-star. So let's say you're rerolling for Haruna. It is like 3 times as hard to pull Haruna than it is Joker. And a lot of people reroll until I've been seeing a lot of people trying to reroll until they get both on the same account. It takes a lot of luck, and it's going to take a lot of patience. So, a lot of the things about rerolling that I see is that people want like to maximize their time. They want to be optimal, but I find that rerolling, ironically, is kind of the opposite of that. It's a gacha game. It's inherently random. You don't get to control it. So rerolling is like the one chance that a lot of people get to feel like they are in control of how they start their game. But it's really difficult to like tell people, I think you should reroll, because it feels disingenuous to their time, especially because I didn't reroll, right? I just booted up the game. I did my 50 pulls. I didn't get a single 5-star. I picked Panther from the selector, and I haven't summoned on Joker a single time. Not a single time. and I feel fine. I'm able to clear very much of the content. I finished the story. I was able to today even do the Companion boss fight event thing that they added, the Nightmare Gate, right? By the way, I wanted to shout out the guild, the Lovelies. You guys are more than welcome to join. First come, first serve. This is the code. I'll make another video kind of promoting this a little more, but if you're here, you're here. I'm gonna let everyone in who joins. Just be active. That's really what I ask. You know, I'm not gonna kick anyone, but like, if you want to join, please be active. So I was able to clear the Nightmare's Gateway almost entirely. I hit the 800,000 points requirement here. So I got almost all of the rewards. This is the big one that I really wanted, because it's so hard to get these out anywhere else, right? But when you reroll, you know, you don't unlock this mode until like level 40. So how is this relevant? Every time you spend rerolling, all the time you spend rerolling, every time you reroll, that's time you're not progressing. And if what you want is to hit the gacha over and over and over and over again, then rerolling might be for you. But if you want to play the game and progress, then I don't think rerolling is the right move for everyone. Be aware of how you're spending your time, right? Gacha games are difficult to manage your time in. They deliberately want you to spend all your time playing them. So the more you reroll, you spend so much time rerolling, but you haven't even played yet. So my best piece of advice is play the game. See if you like it. See if you like the story. See if you like the characters. Please read it. I know it's a gacha game, and it's kind of like, you know, antithetical to read the gacha game story for some people. I've been that way a lot. I played a lot of story-based games where I skip everything in gacha, and it's really easy to fall into that. But I think, you know, with Persona 5X, if you're playing this as your main game, you should be invested. You know, if you're logging on every day, you're giving the game your time, you're building this relationship with the game, you should be enjoying the time you spend. And for that reason, you know, I don't think rerolling is particularly amazing. Because it's draining. It's not fun. It's not the game. It's doing the same level or cutscene or skipping the same cutscene, you know, 100 times and then making a new emulator on LD Player. I don't even know if people still use LD Player. But like, that's the loop. And if that sounds fun to you, then by all means, please reroll. If you want to play the game more than you want to maximize your gacha output, then I would recommend not rerolling. I would say, you know, like in the future, you're not going to be able to reroll without losing all your progress. So instead of rerolling and saying I need Joker, you know, unless, like I said, Joker's your favorite character, or you really like the other characters that are cursed and Joker enables them, whatever it may be that makes you feel like you really want Joker and you don't want to waste resources trying to pull him, then I really don't think rerolling is the move in Persona 5X. I think the game gives you a lot of avenues to play your way. I think the fact that it gives, you know, multiple guaranteed 5 stars, a guaranteed 5-star weapon, many different guaranteed 5-star personas from the plans. I think that the general progression in the early game is very rewarding, and you know, I've played everything I could in the game. I can't do any more mementos until I level up. I can't do the palace until they release it. For the same reason I can't do mementos. I need more stamina to actually play. So, I don't want to waste my stamina potions. I talked about this yesterday. I don't want to waste my stamina potions on like just XP. It feels silly to use your stamina potions on just XP. I'm in no rush to get to the end of the game. I'm in no rush to get to level 70 or 80 or whatever the max level is. I think it's 80. I'm in no rush to farm. But when I get to farm, I really want to get the most out of it and be able to min-max my characters and build my box up. So should you reroll, one more time? It absolutely depends on how you value your time spent in Persona 5X. And if you had to ask me a yes or no, I would say no. I would say play the game, enjoy it. You can clear most of the content with, the 4 stars they give you and the 5 stars that you get along the way. And you'll be getting a lot of gold tickets along the way too. You can pull on that standard banner. You know, I've done like 100 summons on it already. I was able to get Rin from my guarantee at 80 pulls. I've done 100 summons. I have 18 more tickets. They're not going anywhere. It's the beginning of the game. So thank you so much for watching. Have fun playing. That's the single biggest piece of advice I can give you is have fun. It's a video game. It is not a job. It is not anything other than that. Have fun. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'll see you in the next one.